I read Foster by Claire Keegan before Christmas, and although it's been a couple of months, I'm still thinking about how such a small book left such an impression on me, and how I'm still thinking about it a couple of months later, which also shouldn't surprise me since, and forgive me, I do not have the Foster book. I bought it on Kindle. You can see here there's small things like these which I loved, and um, also had a similar impact on me. It's short, powerful. There was probably more there was more happening. There was more, I wouldn't say plot happening in small things like these. Whereas Foster, it was in everything unsaid, and in how such little words, she made you feel such huge emotions, which I couldn't believe actually when I got to the end how much it had affected me and how much I cried. I was throughout, because people had said, I'm sure you've seen this as well, is that a lot of people cried at the end of Foster. So I went in going, oh God, and at the start I was like, I don't think I will. Like, this isn't really affecting me. This isn't really getting to me. But as I grew to know these characters through, how many pages is it? Let me just get this up. 50 pages on the Kindle. So short. And in that time, I still think about these characters and I know them so well in my mind than I do for books that I've read that are 500 pages long and they haven't stuck with me for so long after. Like, when I think of Kinslap, and I think about the ending, and I think, oh wow, wow, because at the start I felt as uncertain as our main character, the little girl, felt moving into the Kinsla's house, and I was with her on that journey of uncertainty, and then how over time she got into this rhythm, this safety with the Kinslas, that I was almost waiting for something bad to happen the whole time, which I'm sure maybe I feel that she was as well. And just to feel, these kind of actions that the Kinslas did for her, so small yet so huge for her, and with their, tragic history and what had happened to them, to then take this little girl in, who doesn't get as much love at home as she deserves. And it's not like this girl is abused. It's not like this girl has, terrible parents. She just has parents who don't have the time, don't have the money, and don't have the mental capacity to look after every single child as well as I'm sure they would have wanted to, which makes this all the more bittersweet. And yeah, I don't think there's any way of spoiling this book, by the way, and if listening to this video is making you think you don't need to read the book, I assure you definitely should read it. If I'm still thinking about it, 50 pages long, I'm still thinking about it 2 months after I read it, that I wanted to actually sit down and talk about it. And I feel like these books, and there's other books that are they really, they get to me and I talk about them and think, but this one quietly and slowly seeped into my bones, sat there for a while, and I just said, I need to talk about it. That's the lovely thing about books, and why I said to myself last year, I need to read more short books and novellas and short stories, because it's often those books that pack a pretty big punch. Sorry if I've slightly moved, somebody came out and I was too nervous to be speaking in front of the camera. So as I was saying, there are longer, more heftier, bigger books that can also pack a powerful punch, don't get me wrong. But to be able to do that within 50 pages with so little said is a true talent, and Claire Keegan is an absolutely brilliant writer, and I feel so proud to be Irish because we have so many authors who have the ability to, anyway, is it because I'm Irish? I don't know, to really get into my skin, make me think about it. Sally Rooney is another author that guys, I love, and Claire Keegan is up there as well, and I just think it is a really exceptional talent to be able, with two, not one but two books now that I've read, to be able to make an almost perfect book that's so short, to tell a full story, to know 3 characters I feel deeply within 50 pages is amazing. So if you're looking for a book to, do you know what I would say, give you a little breath, a little that you need. Don't get me wrong, it's sad, but it's still beautiful and it's heartwarming, it's lovely, and it talks about so much more than just the sadness of the little girl and the family. So I highly recommend that you pick this book up, give it a chance, let me know what you think, and yeah, I will chat to you soon about another book, I think. But that's it, and that's my little thoughts of how I felt while reading Foster by Claire Keegan. I'm not giving a full review, I'm just telling you how I feel and how it sat with me, and that's it. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.